Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Ox Talks. It is Sunday, June 30th, 2024. Hope you guys are having a fantastic weekend, productive weekend. I wanted to jump on here and just my usual Sunday night rant. First and foremost, I wanted to start off by saying we've had 40 or 50 new subscribers come over to the channel today. And I want to welcome each and every one of you and tell you that I appreciate you being here, as well as the viewers that have been watching this channel for the last 7-8 months since I started the channel. All of you are very important. I think that to the folks that just got here, you'll find that the comments to these videos and the interaction in this community is quite amazing. We have really an excellent group of folks that are helping each other out, sharing on-the-ground information from their locations, responding to the topics that we're discussing. And so I appreciate that. We're going to keep growing this channel, growing the community, and doing our best to get the word out as to what's unfolding economically. For those of you that are new to the channel, I am a business owner. I'm a California attorney, practicing lawyer, and I've owned a practice, a small practice, for almost 30 years now. I did do a stint for a few years with a larger firm, about 150 lawyers, and didn't like it, came back to my own shop. And so basically for 30 years, I've been a business owner and practitioner, primarily focusing on business and real estate law. But Travis from Economic Ninja gave us a really nice, a warm shout out this morning, because he and I were discussing yesterday a fairly complex issue in real estate that deals with, in California, you do have what's called anti-deficiency protection. If there's a foreclosure of a mortgage that you have, and the mortgage that you have, it was purchase money, meaning that the mortgage secured a loan that you obtained when you purchased the property. If unfortunately the property goes back to the bank cannot come after you as the borrower for the difference between what they receive at the auction or pay off on the loan, and what the amount of the loan balance was at the time of the foreclosure. So anti-deficiency. Typically, it's also referred to as non-recourse loan. However, there are exceptions to that rule, and it gets a little bit convoluted under California law. Every state is different, so you have to understand the laws in your own state. Not giving legal advice, but in California, you can lose what we call the anti-deficiency protection if you do certain things. One of those things is when you refinance your purchase money loan. And a lot of people don't understand that. So what that means is if you refinance to get a little lower rate, lower your monthly payment, if something happens down the road and you go through a foreclosure, the bank can, if they want to, they always don't exercise their rights to do this, but they can pursue the borrower for a deficiency judgment. The difference between what they get on at the auction or eventually able to sell the property for, and what you owed the bank at the time of the foreclosure. So that's something to keep in mind, and that's what Travis and I were discussing yesterday back and forth. So I appreciated his mention today on his video this morning over at Economic Ninja. Appreciate that. And so to the newcomers, welcome. Please share the videos with people, as many people as you can, so we continue to get the word out as to what's happening. So look, I'm starting a trial tomorrow morning. I've been discussing it for many shows now. We start tomorrow morning. We report at 10 a.m. To the department. And this one's about an hour and a half away. Same county, different courthouse. So tomorrow is going to be basically what we refer to as pretrial motions. The judge is not going to bring in the jury panel tomorrow. Unlikely, probably that'll happen first part of next week. But we have pretrial motions tomorrow. Both sides present, if they want to, what we call motions in limine, attempting to limit the evidence at trial, what can be put before the jury, and what will be considered in the case. So we're going to deal with motions in limine tomorrow. We'll haggle those out probably for a couple of hours in the department with the judge, and see what happens, and if in fact there are any limitations placed on the scope of the trial, on the scope of the evidence, all those kind of things. So obviously can't go into too much detail because it's active, but I will update you all once this unfolds and progresses, and obviously we get to a conclusion. So that's what's happening with the business. Obviously a lot of prep time, a lot of hours involved, but it's part of what having or what operating a law practice and being an active litigator is all about. Yes, it's stressful. Yes, it's time consuming. Can it be rewarding? Absolutely. But the system is tough. It's difficult, guys. I mean, it's a pay to play system. And unfortunately, it's very expensive, these trials for clients. It's very, let's say, stressful for clients. And so my job is to try to the best that I can minimize all that, deliver an excellent result, and let the parties get back to a semblance of normal life without the stress of litigation. So that's kind of what I'm all about. This channel, we do discuss current economic events. I'm not going to share any stuff today. I've been combing the news today, and some of the sources I looked to. Didn't see anything that I thought was extremely worthy of sharing with any of you today. So I'm not going to go there. I thought I'd just jump on and say hello, touch base on Sunday. I may not be able to get a video uploaded tomorrow because of the trial schedule, but I should have a relatively normal schedule this week, and so we'll see how it unfolds. Physical fitness. We talk about physical fitness on this channel all the time, especially for the new subscribers. I try to touch base on that issue the last 30 seconds of each video every day, because that's important to me. The physical fitness aspect, keeping ourselves physically fit, keeping ourselves strong and resilient is super, super important from my perspective, especially when times get tougher, stress levels start to rise. Look, we're all paying a lot more for everything right now. We understand that the economy is on thin ice. We understand that inflation is not what the official numbers say it is. We understand that people are hurting out there and trying their best every day just to put food on the table for their families, pay their insurance costs, their medical insurance, and do all those things that we do every day to try to maintain, maintain a consistent life for ourselves and our family. All those things are going up. I don't see any end in sight right now. The housing market is starting to roll over. We're seeing inventories rise. Sorry, Milo is screaming in the background here. He's a beagle. That's our dog Milo, and he has a very, very high-pitched sound. So my daughter's about to leave with a friend right now to go out and see a movie. So sometimes when we leave the house, he takes that as a threat, and he'll start to howl. So let's see if we can keep Milo calm for a few minutes while I finish the video. But in any event, busy right now, busy schedule. Let me circle back quickly to the fitness. Please keep that in mind. If you're new to the channel, do your best to get those workouts in. Keep yourself strong and resilient, and very, very important. So I discussed last week on the channel that I am embarking on a new family business venture, and that is going to be, as we see and continue to see this real estate roll over, going to be embarking on, excuse me, I hit the mic, going to be embarking on acquiring, and not all at once, obviously over a period of time, acquiring real estate for purposes of rental. And look, it's not, some comments about, well, what about California and the rent moratorium that happened during the last pandemic? How are you going to address that? Well, number one, I'm not going to be doing all my deals in California. I'll probably do most of the deals outside California, looking at Nevada, obviously, Arizona, Texas. I'm also licensed to practice law in Texas, so that is a natural as well for me. And if you're watching what's going on in Texas, that real estate market, the bottom is starting to fall out. Okay, so we're going to start seeing a lot of action in the state of Texas in the real estate market. I think in the coming 6 12 months, year and a half, you're going to see tremendous opportunities in that marketplace. But I am going to do that. And California, yes, there's risk. Yes, a different political climate, so you have to be very careful when you acquire real estate. If we have a rollout of of pandemic 2.0, which I fully expect that we will at some point, unfortunately, you have to guard against that. So there's ways to do it. Nothing is foolproof, but one way to do it is you have to hold real estate in separate entities. You don't hold real estate in your own personal name. You set up limited liability companies, talk to a lawyer in your jurisdiction, but you compartmentalize. You never commingle investment, any investment opportunity or real estate properties with your personal assets. You hold those separately. And if you can get the loan, if you're going to be using bank money, if you're not paying cash for the purchases, you do that to the extent that you possibly can through the entity. Okay, without putting personal guarantees in place, without putting loans in your name, and so you can, if something happens unforeseen. Let's say you're sitting on a couple of properties in California and we get the rental moratorium, and worst case scenario, the loans become, let's say, in distress. You can shield losses that happen in one situation from another. And look, at developers do this, real estate developers and builders, they compartmentalize everything in separate LLCs. Through separate phases. They do that to minimize their exposure and the downside risk. So without getting in the weeds on that, all those things are in play. And so I'm going to embark on that because my goal over the next, let's say, 3 to 5 years is to transition away from the litigation practice and transition away from the law practice. 30 years doing this, high stress, and I'm ready to see that transition and to obviously then contribute to building some generational wealth for the family and for my kids going on, beyond me and my life and my wife as well. So we are looking forward to this family opportunity. Going to get the kids on the payroll. They're going to be working this business when they're home from college during the holidays and during summer. And we are going to embark on this new venture. We're very excited about it. I won't ramble on too much today. I just want to say again, thank you for being here. If you're new, to my longtime viewers, watch the channel. We are growing. I'm going to continue to come out here and share with you, things that are happening, unfolding in my business. Oh, by the way, I preach all the time on this channel. We are also going to start seeing greater job losses, and whether that's from the coming next wave of bank failures, whether that's from the coming next wave of big box store closings, or whatever it's going to be. The unemployment rate is going to continue to skyrocket. We covered last week, unemployment benefits are increasing for continued claims because people don't have work and they can't get work, right? So we're going to see a lot of that. If you are a 9-to-5 W-2 employee working for a boss and you're not your own boss, please give some consideration to starting your own business, having your own side hustle, finding a way to make yourself as resilient financially as possible by creating a source of revenue stream for you and your family that does not depend on your 9-to-5 job working under an employer, because you just don't know what's going to happen with that. As secure as you might think your job is, it just may not be there tomorrow or the next day. So what are you going to do if you get an email tomorrow morning or a call from your employer saying, don't show up today, we've had some problems here, we need to cut some positions, and unfortunately your position has been eliminated, all right? So what are you going to do? Do you have some reserves? Are you able to pay your family's obligations for 60 or 90 or 120 days, 6 months, a year? If you don't have that in place, please consider it. If you do have it in place, great, but don't get complacent. Keep adding to it, right? Don't be one of these Americans that has $400 in savings that can't even afford an emergency. Or if you have a medical emergency, don't be one of those people that has to literally go bankrupt because you didn't have some sufficient reserves to take care of that and continue with the continuity for yourself and your family. So we discuss that on the channel all the time as well, about starting your own business, being your own boss. All right. We talk about some prepping on this channel: food, water, security. All those things are very important, all right? You got to get those things in place. And once you do, it's not necessarily set it and forget it totally. You have to make sure you're rotating that stuff. You've got to check on it. But for the most part, once you've covered those bases, right, and you've checked those boxes, you can do other things, all right? You can understand, you can sleep better at night knowing that stuff is there for you. You need to practice with your security, all right? We know what that means. That stuff is not like riding a bike. It is a diminishing skill. So those kind of things do take, as we say, water in the plant, right? Continuing to stay proficient and to get better, all right? So all those things, just trying to throw a lot out there today with my Sunday rant for the new subscribers that I saw today. And with that being said, I will do my best to check in periodically throughout the week this week and cover some current events with all of you and continue to discuss what we do on this channel all the time. Obviously, I can't leave by saying we need to watch what's going on with the election selection and what we all witnessed a few days ago with the debates and what's going to come out of this, because all this impacts us. Whether it doesn't matter what party you're on, what side you're on, or what party you're from, or what side you're on, this all affects everybody, okay? So we have a lot of uncertainty right now in this country with that as well. That is not stock market positive, all right? The markets do not like uncertainty. We also have the uncertainty of what the Federal Reserve is going to do relative to interest rates. Everyone's banking on at least a gratuitous rate cut before the election. I'm not so sure it's going to happen. Mortgage rates are high, credit card rates are high, borrowing costs are high. So we have a lot on our plate right now that we're just getting bombarded with on a daily and really almost hourly basis. So I'm here to kind of help stand watch and do what I can, my part to share with you what I see, give you my insight, and let's just continue to build the community and help each other out. That's what we're here for. 17 minutes, a little longer than normal. Appreciate you letting me go on for a few minutes today. And with that being said, all of you have a great rest of your Sunday evening. And I will hopefully, if not see you tomorrow, I'll talk to you on Tuesday or Wednesday. Have a great evening. Bye.